back to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. Today we have Mr. Anish Jaipuriar with us. Anish is currently heading the General Corporate Mergers and Acquisitions practice at a prestigious law firm and is a commendable legal professional regarded by clients for his hands-on approach, technical knowledge, and negotiating skills. Anish has represented many local and international corporations on both corporate as well as dispute resolution. He has also advised major corporates, tech companies, and some of India's biggest companies on a wide spectrum of issues pertaining to corporate and commercial laws. Of course, I can just go on and on, but I would like to say that he is also an empanelled advocate for PNB, Punjab National Bank, Central Bank of India, Steel Authority of India Limited, Heavy Engineering Corporation Limited, and Central Coalfields Limited. So I think that I should stop right now, and without any further ado, let me just introduce you to Mr. Anish Jaipuriar. Hello, Anish. How are you?
Hi, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Anish. I had to cut the introduction short because there's so much to talk about you. But let me, first of all, ask you about your journey as a legal professional. Like, how did you end up in the legal space, first of all, and how the journey has been so far for you?
I think for any professional, the journey has its own kind of twists and turns, has its ups and downs. You start high, and in the middle, it's the huge amount of challenges and the difficulties that you face. And eventually you want to overcome those and become a professional that you would expect yourself to be, because the ambition drives you at the end of the day. So as a professional, I've suffered similar sort of ventures where I had my highs, I had my lows, I had my good days, I had my worst days as well. Straight from college, I was working with top tier law firm Qatar and Co. for a good amount of half a decade, almost half a decade, I would say. And then I also sort of joined Shardul Amachan Bangaldas, another sort of a top tier law firm of the country. I was working in the M&A and the general corporate space where I was advising a lot of strategic M&A deals and financial deals as well, such as private equity and venture capital. So this has been sort of like the starting phase of my career. After having quit Shardul Amachan, I decided that I was ready to sort of start my own thing. I decided to join AKS Partners, which primarily was dispute resolution, corporate and commercial litigation sort of a law firm. And the idea of me joining them was to sort of build the corporate practice, the transactional practice from the scratch. And that's what I've been doing for the past 2.5 years at the firm.
But what were the factors that led you to quit your engagement with top tier law firms and like start your own thing completely?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most difficult questions that one can ever ask, because there are so many experiences in life which enables you to decide what you need to do in your career and in your profession. I think one of the biggest factors is how ambitious are you in the first place. So having worked in like top tier law firms like Qatar and Shardul, you can either you are built as a professional where you can go out independent, or you are dependent on the system that Qatar and Shardul have built for you. So what I felt was that at some point in time, I felt that I was ready. I was confident enough to sort of build that practice of my own. And hence the reason was to have that discussion with AKS Partners management team to get that opportunity going for me. The ambition sort of drove me. My aim was to be recognized as an attorney who understands the dynamics of the transaction, the underlying deal, and is able to offer that bespoke service to match the needs of the clients. Right. I aspire to be known by the clients, my peers, and by leading lawyers as well, as someone with necessary commercial acumen to handle complex and complicated matters, and the ability to provide out-of-box solutions as well. So this is what sort of drove me to do what I wanted to do on my own, to go out there sort of to face the world on my own, so to say, figuratively, of course. But yeah, that's what sort of drove me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering that question, Anish, and congratulations. I mean, you have had a successful career and now you're doing your own thing, which is, of course, I think every lawyer's dream, and you're living that. What other practices and innovations have you been able to introduce at AKS Partners? to enable its continued outreach and visibility?
Thank you for that question. I think the foremost idea behind starting, when you start a new practice at a firm which was not involved in that practice, the idea is what's the new thing that you're bringing to the markets, which already is not there, what other law firms are not providing. The idea for us was the unique mix of sort of youth and experience. The idea was that, okay, we are able to provide the experience, the necessary experience that one needs in complex M&A deals, but we're also sort of able to provide that new ideas, new ways, possibly efficient ways of doing a particular deal. Let's say in a transaction where a couple of documents are required, can we manage it in lesser documentation? Can we manage it in more efficient way of drafting a particular clause? So I think the experimentation sort of ensured was important for us to sort of ensure that the practice that we're building is for the long term. So as part of that building, as part of building the corporate practice at AKS Partners, I was able to implement several measures pertaining to knowledge management, consistency of templates used for contract drafting. We self-learning sessions, CLE sessions to ensure efficient workings on what is it that we are working, that we are delivering to the clients, and how we want to use that delivered product to ensure more better quality in the next deliverables that we are working, things like that. So learning from what we have delivered and relearning and reworking on that to ensure more efficient and more quality delivery of products. Self-learning and continuous learning was another factor which also was important for us, because we needed to ensure that we have the necessary in-house capabilities which caters to wide arrays of deal issues that arise at some point. As part of that, I undertook sort of a course on financial analysis and valuation for lawyers from the Harvard Law School, which the online platform, which was a 6-week sort of a course, which was essential, which caters to a very different skill set of a lawyer, which not every law firm or any lawyer at least to my knowledge, is able to provide. So the firm has also recently sort of introduced policies such as pool system and resource sharing with weekly capacity assessment in order to ensure that the resources of the associates who are working on the deal are providing the deliveries in a more productive fashion and efficient fashion, rather than being overburdened or inefficient distribution of work. Or that was also essential for us. These are like few practices that we have put onto for the firm and its practices to ensure that what we're building is for the long run, and this is not something which we're doing for just the sake of just jumping ships. That's the idea.
Thank you so much, Anish, for sharing insights on what exactly you have been doing and what are your plans down the line. Can you also throw light on a complex legal issue that you worked on so far? I mean, if you're comfortable sharing anything.
Officially speaking, no, because each deal has its own level of complexities involved. I think one such complex issue that I was asked to advise on was revolving around cryptocurrency exchanges in India and the complete absence of laws and regulations. As you may be aware, I think Supreme Court had turned down or rather nullified the RBI circulars which prohibited banks from dealing in cryptocurrencies. But there's this frowning upon by the banking sectors, including the RBI as a regulator on cryptocurrency exchanges, because of its potential misuse in terms of money laundering, terror financing, etc., etc. So I think which increased the complexities of how a cryptocurrency exchange is to perform, or rather to operate in India, an Indian market where there are no regulations and where regulators are just waiting for the first opportunity at site where you can just issue a notice or probably come at file an action against you or enforce certain actions against you. That was the idea, and so and cryptocurrency as a result of no regulations resulted in a conglomerate of multiple legislation you need to look at. Privacy laws, e-wallet rules, e-commerce rules, FDI. I think these became so important we needed and were requiring our immediate attention from different angles. At one point you were a financial lawyer, at another you were a privacy lawyer, another you were a foreign investment lawyer. You're also a consumer lawyer. At times you were also a white collar lawyer. So I think you were required to don multiple hats in order to advise a sector like cryptocurrency. I think that was a very complex issue for us, at least, to look at not just one act or two acts. We were looking at least 20 acts just to advise what's the right way here for any cryptocurrencies to operate. So that is, I would say.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much for answering that question, first of all, Anish. Now, I really wanted to ask you, because you've been a part of LexTalk and you've attended the conference, how the experience has been. I mean, like you attending
It was yeah. I mean, that's a question I would love to ask, because it was a wonderful experience. I think first of all, this was my first sort of outside India trip since Corona. I think Corona did put sort of those virtual prohibitions, rather legal prohibitions on you traveling outside India. I think one of the biggest reasons, biggest joys of my life was to finally start traveling again outside India. So I think, and to meet, to network, to meet new people, I think that was incredibly done. The conference was well organized. The topics discussed were well thought of and relevant in the current sort of. So I thoroughly enjoyed the conference and the entire setup that LexTalk had done. So kudos to you guys as organizers for doing this, and hope to be part of your seminars, your conferences, either as a panelist or otherwise, in the future as well.
Thank you so much, Anish, and heartiest congratulations once again. I guess I have already congratulated you a couple of times, but it's just not enough. So congratulations once again. And,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I mean, I'm really thankful to everybody who was able to attend the conference, and they took out time. So thank you so much for taking out time and being there.
Absolutely, yeah. This is one of the discussions that we also had. That I just felt that this is one of those kind of conferences I would like to attend in person rather than virtual, because then you get the benefit of not just meeting the panelists, the esteemed panelists face to face, but also just enjoying just being out there, networking with new people and meeting new faces. It's just incredible.
You're right. We had this discussion when when we initially talked about it, and
absolutely
the option of attending virtually. Yes, you're right. And thank you so much. It was lovely having you. It was a pleasure talking to you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Before I let you go, though, just wanted to know, how do you manage and how do you ensure that you make the most of your time as a lawyer? Because I mean, as far as I've been in touch with the legal space and legal industry experts, everybody is so busy and they're running tight on their schedule. And I don't know, like how you guys manage actually your personal life as well. That's that.
No, I think that's a challenge, because one of my fondest things that I love doing is playing cricket, or watching movies, possibly in theaters, because as against Netflix, I would rather watch movies in theaters, because that keeps you engrossed, keeps you attentive, as against Netflix, where every time you can just pause and then forget about the movie and then come back probably a week later on it. So I love doing that. But I think the simplest thing that I follow is a to-do list, with a TDD, things to do. It's not just a weekly thing that I prepare, that okay, this week I'm doing all of this, plus also a daily list of what I need to do, what I need to maintain, what I need to deliver in terms of both clients, in terms of, let's say, if I'm writing a piece, let's say I'm doing an internal session with my associates, or we're just having drinks over at a restaurant, so even those things, I think it's more about time management. You have multiple matters, you have multiple deliverables. It's just splitting that 24 hours, rather, I would say I'll reduce it to, let's say, 12 hours or 18 hours that you have of workable time that within which you must work. I think you just split it efficiently, push things which can be pushed, retain things, something which is absolutely urgent depending on what client needs, and then try and manage and then put that social life at the end of the things where you are, I think, and also gather that energy. Sometimes when you work, okay, I'm done, I just want to lay down, or I just want to go home and just sleep it off. But gather that energy, have that extra energy left in yourself, or get that push in yourself to sort of, okay, why don't I, instead of going home, I'll just go to a bar or maybe a restaurant, just have good meal with my favorites or whatever. So I think just do that for yourself. That just rejuvenates you, re-energizes you for the next day of challenge and next day of difficulties. So that's what I try and do and try and maintain. But sometimes, of course, it becomes very mundane, and sometimes it becomes very challenging.
Absolutely, Anish. And I think it's just not the lawyers, but even people who get associated with the legal space, they also get to, like, they also get busy, because then they have to accommodate. I'm talking about myself here, just in case if you're confused, that we have to, like, manage everything according to.
It's actually true. It's absolutely true. I couldn't agree more.
Yes. So unfortunately and sadly, we've come to an end of this amazing conversation. I wish we could talk more, but I'll be looking forward to some more conversations like this, some more chats like this on other trending topics in the legal space. And I wish you all the best for your future journey, and hope that we would, like, we can collaborate again, and we can have you again at the conference.
Always open to, happy to sort of discuss any ideas that you may have and we can collaborate. That's always.
It would be lovely. It would be a pleasure again.
Absolutely.
And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Anish, please like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Anish. This is Bharti for LexTalk, signing off.